If I damaged my hair all over again, this is exactly what I would do. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Sophie, welcome. A few years ago now, I managed to completely destroy my naturally curly hair. My hair was not curly anymore, and I brought it back from damage. So here on this channel, my mission is to share all of the tips and tricks that help me reclaim my naturally curly hair along the way. This space is all about embracing your authentic self. I am here to show you that you don't have to straighten your hair to feel pretty or conform to any standard, frankly, that takes you away from being you. Also, Happy New Year. I want to make sure by the end of this video, you know exactly what you need to do for this year to get your naturally curly hair back and finally embrace your hair and just be confident in it. Let's get into it. Number 1. Stop straightening your hair to style. This is probably going to be the most obvious one, but I need to go into a bit more detail here to give you some options, what you're supposed to do instead. Because it's probably natural, you go in the shower, you wash your hair with shampoo and conditioner, you know straight away that when you get out, you're probably blow drying it, and then you're straightening it, and then you're curling it or whatever. But you need to stop that. That has to be the number one thing to start getting your curls back. You've got to give your hair a bit of a break. What you need to do is get in the habit of doing a styling routine, and I'm gonna make this really simple and straightforward for you. So it could look something like this to begin with. You're gonna shampoo and condition your hair exactly as normal as you were before, and instead of the next step, which would be getting out the shower, maybe towel drying your hair ready to blow dry it, you're gonna stay in the shower, and while your hair is in a soaking wet state, you're gonna apply a curl cream or a leave-in conditioner to the lengths of your hair. You're just gonna rake a little bit through, spread it through your hair. Then you're gonna get a cotton t-shirt. So ideally you'd already have this by the side near you in the shower. Start scrunching, or if you don't have time to start doing that, just literally throw your hair into the cotton t-shirt as you would like a towel wrap. This is gonna be a little bit softer on your hair, and it's about to make your styling process a lot easier. You're out the shower, your hair is detangled, you've got some sort of moisturizing product like a leave-in conditioner or cream in your hair. You can literally leave that now and see what happens to your hair. The likelihood is if you do have a natural curl pattern that you're trying to get back, or wave pattern, you will start to see something happen. What I would recommend, if you already have it, is use a little bit of gel, mousse, or something that's gonna give your hair a little bit of crunch or grit texture, and actually scrunch that in. So you've put some moisture in the curl cream, putting a bit of grit into the hair to see if you can hold some sort of shape in the hair. I would then literally let your hair air dry. See what happens. What are you starting with? You're probably gonna find that your hair is quite damaged at the bottom and the roots start to respond well. Everyone is different, but we need to see where we're starting. So this is the first thing I would start doing, is getting used to a really simple styling routine. Eventually, when you get to know your hair a little bit more, your styling routine is gonna evolve for longevity so that that styling routine can last you for days. And that's where like the brush styling might come in, or like the gel, or an extra bit of hairspray, a bit of oil to seal, and all these things that you may have heard of. All of these steps might come in the future because you realize, yeah, I need this routine to now last me. Because the whole point is you're not doing this styling routine every single day. You're doing it to last you, to preserve the style of your curls for many days to come, so that eventually you're actually just doing this styling routine once or maybe twice a week. But really you just need to get used to the habit of doing that once you shampoo and condition your hair, whenever you do that, instead of blow drying your hair and straightening or curling it. Step 2, utilizing what you've already got. Hopefully this is a bit refreshing for your ears. You do not need to go out and buy loads of stuff. So, have you got a heat protectant that you used to use when you straightened your hair? Great, keep it. Have you got a 2-in-1 conditioner? You might not know you have, but go and have a look, because some conditioners, like the Garnier Hair Mask 3-in-1, means you can actually rinse that out or leave it in. Great. You don't need to go out and buy a leave-in conditioner or a curl cream. Have you got a mousse or a gel? Maybe you've got something that you used to slick your hair back in the past. Can you use that as the grit I was talking about earlier to give that hold, that texture to the hair? Great, use that if you've got it. Do you have a cotton t-shirt? You probably do. Or do you have something soft that you could use to kind of micro plop your hair? I don't think this is an essential at all, but if that saves you from using like a terry cloth towel or whatever they're called, which is gonna really kind of rough up the hair texture, no. Use a t-shirt and thank me later. Do you have a water spray bottle that you use to spray plants or gardening, or I don't know, something like that at home? You can multi-use that, rinse it out, fill it up with water and use it for your hair. You don't need to go out and buy a hair water spray. 3, visit your local drugstore and start off cheap. So now you've assessed your situation, you know what you've got, what you haven't got, what you could use for now, and maybe you've got ideas on what you would like in the future. But look at the gaps, and if there are things you really need, you need to visit your local drugstore or local beauty supply store or supermarket. Supermarkets have great selections these days, especially in the UK. And these are the things that you want to have a look at. If you're on a really tight budget, I would go straight to the section of the shop's own branded products, for example, Superdrug brand or Boots brand. Have a look and see what you can find. Some of my best products are from Superdrug's own brand. The serum, which I think is actually discontinued, but it's like one of my favorite serums that I use. So that's an option. And here are some brands that you can look out for either that leave-in conditioner that you might be missing, or like a 2-in-1, or a gel or mousse that gives you hold and grip. There's a brand called Jerome Russell Be Styled, and I hardly hear anyone talk about this brand. The products are really affordable. They're cruelty-free, vegan, gluten-free. The bottle and label are 100% recyclable, and it has bond-building technology in it. Why are not more people talking about Jerome Russell Be Styled? This is actually a brand new bottle, but I have used this before and I love it. It's their heat protecting spray, and they have creams and things. So have a look at Jerome Russell Be Styled. They need some more praise. Naughty, a very well-known brand. This is actually a brand new cream. I've not even used it yet, but Wave Hello is a very well-known curl cream. Another really well-known brand is Aussie. They sell in supermarkets and in most kind of beauty supply stores like Superdrug and Boots. And I have worked with them before, full disclaimer, although I actually bought this and I've bought the last 3 that I've used because I'm actually obsessed with this since working with them. And this cream is amazing. It's in my hair right now. And these are really affordable in the UK. I don't think you can get this anywhere else, unfortunately, yet. I don't know if they're gonna have this anywhere else. But check out the Aussie products. And as I was saying a minute ago, if you wanna make some smarter product investments like 2-in-1 creams and things, here is an example, the Garnier Hair Food Butter. I have the banana one as well, but this is the curl restoring cocoa butter one. But you can use this as a rinse out conditioner, a deep conditioning treatment, or you can leave it in. And I just think that's smart, and why not save money and do that? I don't think these are very expensive either. I'm not sure of the price off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure when I bought this, I got a deal like with my Superdrug card. So I'm on their like beauty rewards card thing. So have a look at Garnier. Some of their products are absolutely incredible. I love them. I'm going to quickly mention a shampoo because I do get a lot of questions about shampoo and conditioners, but please know that you can probably just use what you're already using. Unless, okay, there's just one exception here. If you are using a shampoo that you don't feel like is really cleansing your hair effectively, like for example, let's say you use a shampoo and your hair still feels so silky soft, maybe that hasn't got enough cleansing agents in it. But for the most part, most like drugstore shampoos are absolutely fine. If you need a good option for something that's going to clean your hair effectively, I do really like this E45 shampoo. It's literally nearly gone. It's got a tiny bit left. It's a gentle, effective shampoo for dry, itchy scalp and dandruff. I do get a dry scalp in the winter, so I do really like to use this at this time of year. This does have sulfates in it. I have nothing against sulfates. I find this actually cleanses my hair effectively, but it's not harsh on the scalp. I'm pretty sure I've seen it in majority supermarkets, definitely Sainsbury's, and I'm pretty sure Boots and Superdrug sell it as well. So if you're really struggling to find a good shampoo and you just want something simple, go with this. Step 4. Assess the damage and decide what needs to be cut off. I would wait for about 5-6 washes before you make this decision, because you need to get your hair back into that state of getting used to like a curl routine. You need to kind of see where you're starting and not just assume that loads needs cut off, because it might not be as damaged as you think. But you will likely, if your hair is quite damaged and your hair is naturally quite curly, you will start to see that your roots are like getting used to this routine and the new hair that's starting to grow, and you might find the ends of your hair are quite straight. I'll insert pictures. And you don't have to part with that hair, but I do feel like a nice healthy trim at the bottom gives you like a clean slate, a clean starting point, so you can kind of start to take pictures, progress pictures of your hair and evaluate how your hair's changing over time. And parting with that damage just sets you off on like a nice fresh start. It also might frustrate you, seeing that your hair is really taking to your new curl routine at the top and at the bottom it's just kind of not changing. You kind of want to eliminate any barriers that are going to make you want to feel like you've got to go and straighten your hair again for your hair to look nice. I have always said hair health over length for me. I really want to have long curly hair. My hair is getting very long. I've had to make some decisions along my journey to just cut the ends and part with it. And every time I've done it, I've actually reflected back and I've looked at photos and I've always thought, like, why on earth was I holding on to that damage? It did me no favors whatsoever. And my memory of that time is, oh yeah, but I'm keeping on to the length, it looks better. But now looking back, I just wonder, like, what was I doing? Like, why didn't I cut that off sooner? I always have that same thought process. So I leave this up to you, but my advice would be to cut it if you can. I just think it's a nice fresh start. 5, preserving and protecting your hair. I alluded to this earlier, but let's go through it. You want to actually develop a routine in the long run that's going to help you keep your style for the whole week. You want to be able to protect it at night and wake up with your hair still looking pretty much the same as it did before, or in a state that you can just add a little bit of oil to or a bit of spray to have it looking like day one hair again. So to start, you want to have a styling routine that is going to give you longevity. Don't change anything that I said earlier. You want to start with that really simple styling routine, but this is like you've had 5, 6 routines, you get it, you understand what to do, and now you're realizing my curls aren't lasting. What steps can I include to make sure they actually last the whole week and not make this like a real effort for me to have to style my hair every day? Focusing on your styling routine in smaller sections can help you actually target those areas and really focus on clumping the curls in the way that they want to be clumped and then holding them with gel, so locking the curls in. When you do that, what you're actually doing is preserving those curl families for a little bit longer. The gel or the mousse is going to sculpt, define your hair and give it that hold that it needs to survive the week. When you do this, it can prevent the hair from kind of getting caught in things as much. It can prevent the hair from really molding to your environment outside, and that can prevent that webbed frizz that you sometimes get when you kind of pull a curl apart. It can prevent that happening on its own as much. And you can do things like finishing with a hairspray or kind of locking that routine in with a little bit of serum or oil. There are actually so many things that you can do to make sure that the style of your hair preserves for as long as possible. When I was going through my journey of getting my hair back from damage, this is something I wish I kind of picked up a bit sooner, because I was washing my hair way too much and I kind of got obsessed with that end result. I was getting frustrated and I was like, no, didn't like it, I'm gonna do it again, I'll do it again the next day. I got into this unhealthy cycle of trying to make my hair look exactly like it did on day one, but then I actually realized there are so many more things I could do on that just one wash day that would mean that that would last me so much longer. The next part of preserving and protecting the hair is obviously at night. What do you do with it at night? A lot of people like to use bonnets to preserve their hair at night, which if I was going to do that, I personally don't like to use bonnets because things annoy me on my head at night. But if you don't mind something on your head, what I would do is just put your hair into a pineapple on top, put the bonnet over, go to sleep on a satin or silk pillowcase. That's really going to help protect and preserve your hair. That's probably one of the best things you can do. However, if you are like me and you don't like to have things on your head, I just get so hot at night. I just end up ripping it off without even realizing. So what I like to do is pin my hair up in a specific way that actually really helps me get volume as well in the morning. So I basically put my hair up in a silk or satin scrunchie, and then I leave that top layer out and I start kind of pinching the hair and pinning it in. What this does is create that kind of volume at the top. It doesn't stretch out those curls too much, and when I wake up in the morning I take it out and my hair actually looks so good every single time. It may need a very minimal refresh, but really if I just let it settle, it kind of falls back into itself. Also, after I've had like a body shower in the morning, the steam in the bathroom after I've finished in the shower, it really just helps lift my curls up again, that steam, and I find that's like the only thing I need. So I don't even do anything. I literally take my hair out of the style at night and then I just leave it down and I'm literally good to go. If you want to wear certain hairstyles in the week, but obviously you don't want to ruin your curls and have to wash them all over again, Try to get the hang of some more protective curly hairstyles that aren't gonna completely stretch your curls out. I'm gonna do a full video on this, on some styles I like to do when I want to revert back to having my hair down the next day. So styles that aren't gonna ruin my curls. But until that's actually posted, I can give you a few ideas now. But sometimes I like to wear a bun where I kind of twist the top layer of my hair and I twist those curls into themselves. And I think it looks like a really nice style, but actually I'm not ruining any clumps here because they're kind of preserved in that top layer and just pinned into a fairly loose bun. That's also a really good idea for the gym or just going to work, anything where you want your hair off your face, but you want to have your hair down the next day perhaps. Another easy style is using a banana clip. The clip glides your hair together in a way that doesn't stretch your hair too much like a hair tie might. I've used a banana clip for the gym before and just for a style to wear out. And I just think it's a really nice way to make your ponytail look a bit longer as well. Step 6. Bonding and strengthening treatments. I need to break something to you. Your hair is already dead when it comes out of your scalp, but you can strengthen the hair that you have and prevent or delay the chances of your hair breaking and splitting up the hair and losing length and things like that. There are really great bonding treatments out there that do really help on a molecular level. Have a look into that, for example, like K18 and Olaplex. But if you can just focus on keeping your hair strong and healthy and stop it from splitting and breaking, that's great. But these treatments, they're not going to transform your hair overnight and suddenly like give you a new head of hair. One product cannot do that, but these are small things that you can incorporate and you will over time notice a difference in the strength of your hair. But it's kind of that thing where if you do that, you need to do everything else as well. Like, one bonding treatment's not going to save your hair from all of this straightening you're doing. Everything is like a collective of tips, and this is just one thing that you can do that will help a little bit. Number 7. Closing the gap between you now with damaged hair and you in the future with your naturally curly hair back. To close that gap, you have to keep with the consistency. You have to keep doing that styling routine. Let's say you stick with that simple styling routine I mentioned at the beginning and you're just doing that once or twice a week. You will begin to notice some progress. You will get used to the habit, going straight to that curl cream in the shower rather than getting out and blow drying your hair straight away, and so on. Another thing is to actually manage your expectations, because if you have this desired goal, which is not really anything like how you remember your naturally curly hair being, then you're just going to be disappointed and that gap's going to be difficult to close, because are you actually expecting something that isn't really realistic? You need to actually aim for hair health, because when you aim for your own hair health, you get closer, quicker to what your hair naturally is. I think people sometimes get lost in like the styling techniques. I'm like, I want to make my hair curlier. I want to make my hair look like their hair. You've got to kind of focus on what your natural hair is and enhance that. Yes, you can do styling techniques to make your hair look curlier. Yes, you can do styling techniques to give your hair more volume or less volume or help your hair look longer. As far as I'm aware, you can't actually train your hair. Your hair doesn't have like that muscle memory to remember how to be styled. It all comes from your follicle. Like, your natural hair pattern is sort of determined in your genetics inside your head. Those styling techniques can actually help have more of a consistent curl pattern if some of your hair is quite damaged and the rest isn't as much, and help you be happier, I guess, with your hair until you reach that point of full optimum hair health. If you keep looking at your hair in the mirror and thinking, oh, it's not how I want it to look yet, you might be tempted to go back and start getting into the habit of straightening it every day again, and then obviously you're back in that cycle. Start getting used to curly hairstyles that you actually like the way that your hair looks with them. But even if you're just having a cute messy bun with some curls or waves down, it means that you can just still do this curly routine and stay away from the straightening, but get used to these cute curly hairstyles that you don't mind wearing day to day, and they can help you feel confident with wearing your hair curly. You don't have to have your hair down. Let's say you've got 3 on your book, so you've got like a nice curly bun that you like to do, you've got a half updo, or like even having your hair in plaits. Now you have 3 reliable fallback options that if you really don't like your hair that day, you know what you can do with it easily without feeling like, oh, I feel like I've got to straighten my hair again. One thing I want to say though is try not to revert back to slick back hairstyles all of the time. You want to kind of let your hair be. Get used to seeing yourself with curly hair. If you start slicking it back all the time, it's not great actually for your scalp, and you're tugging and you might be causing mechanical damage on your hair, which is then setting you back as well. And the last step, step 8, compare yourself to you. Make sure that you track your wash days and actually look at your hair changing. You can only really do this by taking pictures 360 of your hair, get into the habit of it and make it fun. When you start to see that little bit of progress, like your hair curling up again, you will notice that it's so much easier to keep going because you know it's going in the right direction. It's really important to not compare your hair to others because you all have different starting points, and my naturally curly hair is not the same as yours. So try to not get frustrated if your hair's not looking like someone else's, because you're just gonna wind yourself up. I really wound myself up in the beginning because I was looking at all these people's hair on Instagram, and I know obviously I've got a page now and I try to inspire people, obviously showing my hair as the result, because this is my hair that I got back from damage and this is my story and my reference point. But when I was online at the beginning, I was comparing myself to other people thinking, why doesn't my hair look like that yet? Or will my hair ever look like that? Like, I had to actually go back and remember what my natural curly hair was before I damaged it and try and work out what my end goal actually is. Everyone's natural curly hair is different, so you have to work out what you're actually trying to get back to. If you honestly stick on the plan to hair health, you will arrive at the destination you need to arrive at, which is embracing you, your natural curly hair, your natural wavy hair, your natural hair pattern. Let me know in the comments, are you starting your curly hair journey this year? Did this video help you? I really hope it cleared up a little bit of information. The one takeaway is it's not gonna happen overnight. It will take time, but it's the consistency and the collective habits together. There's not one singular product or one singular thing that's gonna just transform your hair. It's not possible. The collective of all these tips and tricks are gonna really help you out. This is your year, 2024. You're gonna get your natural curls back. I know it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you liked it. If you wanna hear more from me on curly hair, getting your curls back, curly hairstyles, then make sure you subscribe to my channel and I will see you in the next one. Bye.